Antilochus, said he, a worse than thee earth never bore. Farewell, we never thought thee wise that were wise, but not so without oaths shall the wreath be sure crown thy mad temples. Go. Yet he bethought him, and went to, thus stirring up his steeds. Leave me not last thus, nor stand vexed. Leave me not last thus, nor stand vexed. Let these fail in the speeds of feet and knees, not you. Shall these old jades pass the flower of youth that you have pass you? This the horse feared, and more power put to their knees, straight getting ground. Both flew. Getting ground. Both flew, and so did the rest. Both flew, and so the rest. All came in smokes like spirits. The Greeks set to see who did best without the race aloft now made a new discovery, other than that they made at first. Idomeneus distinguished all. He knew the voice of Diomed, seeing a horse of special mark of color bay was the first in course, his forehead putting forth a star, round like the moon, and white. Up stood the Cretan, uttering this. Atrides, when I ever seemed the same at every part. Round like a moon and white. Up stood the Cretan, uttering this. Is it alone my sight, princes and captains, that discerns another lead the race with other horse? Than led of late. Eumelus made most pace with his fleet mares, and he began the flexure as we thought. Eumelus made most pace with his fleet mares, and he began the flexure as we thought. Now all the field I search, and find nowhere his view. Hath not befallen amiss to him? Perhaps he hath not with success performed his flexure, his reins lost, or seat, or with the tress his chariot failed him, and his mares have outrayed with affright. Stand up, try you your eyes, for mine hold with the second sight. This seems to me the Aetolian king, the Tydian Diomed. 1, 2, 3. Some god hath warned our powers to fight. The Tydian Diomed. To you it seems so. Rustically, Ajax Oelius said. Your words are suited to your eyes. These mares lead still that led. Eumelus owes them, and he still holds reins and place that did not fallen as you hoped. You must prate before us all, though last in judgment of all. You too are old. In judgment of all. You're too old. Your tongue goes still too fast. You must not talk so. Here are those that better thee, and look for first place in the censure. This Idomeneus took in much disdain, and thus replied. This Idomeneus took in much This Idomeneus took in much disdain, and thus replied. Atrides, when I ever seemed disdain, and thus replied. Thou best in speech's worst, barbarous languaged. Others here might have reproved me first, not thou, unfittest of all. I hold a tripod with thee here, or cauldron, and our general make our equal arbiter. Our general make our equal arbiter. Those horse are first, that when thou... I hold a tripod with thee here, or cauldron, and our general make our equal arbiter. Those horse are first, that when thou payest, thou mayest know. That when thou payest, thou then mayest know. That when thou payest, thou then mayest know. Thou then mayest know. This fired Iliades more, and more than words this quarrel had inspired. And more than words this quarrel had inspired, had not Achilles rose and used this pacifying speech. Let us ask some prophet, priest, or prove. This quarrel had inspired, had not Achilles rose and used this pacifying speech. No more, away with words in war. No more, away with words in war. It toucheth both with breach of that which fits ye. Your deserts should others reprehend that give such foul terms. Sit ye still, the men themselves will end the strife betwixt you instantly, and either's own load bear on his shoulders. Then to both the horse will first appear, and either's own load bear on his shoulders. Then to both the first horse will appear, and which is second. Then to both the first horse will appear, and which is second. These words used, Tydides was at hand. His horse ran high, glanced on the way, and up. And up they tossed the sand thick on their coachmen, on their pace and chariot, their chariot decked with gold, swiftly attended, no wheel seen, no wheel's print in the mold impressed behind them. These horse flew a flight, not ran a race. Arrived amidst the list they stood, sweat trickling down apace their high manes and their prominent breasts. And down jumped Diomed, laid up his scourge aloft the seat, and straight his prize was led home to his tent. Rough Sthenelus laid quick hand on the dame and handled trivet, and sent both home by his men. Next came Antilochus, that won with wiles, not swiftness of his horse, precedence of the gold-locked king. Who yet maintained the course so close. Next came Antilochus, that won with wiles, not swiftness of his horse, precedence of the gold-locked king, who maintained the course so close that not the king's own horse gat more before the wheel of his rich chariot, that might still the execution feel with the extreme hairs of his tail, and that sufficient close held to his leader, no great space it let him interpose, considered in so great It let him interpose, considered in so great a field. Then Nestor's wily son gat of the king, now at his heels, though at the breach he won a quoit's cast of him, which the king again at the instant gained. Ethi Agamemnonides, that was so richly mained, gat strength still as she spent, which words her worth had proved with deeds. Had more ground had been allotted, which words her worth had proved with deeds, had more ground been allowed the race, and coated far his steeds, no question leaving for the prize. And now Meriones a dart's cast came behind the king, his horse of speed much less, himself less skilled to importune them, and gave him importuned. Himself less skilled to importune them, and gave a chariot wing. Admetus' son was last, whose plight Achilles pitying. And give importune them, and give a chariot wing. Admetus' son was last, whose plight Achilles pitying thus spake. Let us ask some prophet. Thus spake. Best man comes last, yet rich must see his prize not least. The second his deserts must bear, and Diomed the best. Best man comes last, yet right must see his prize not least. The second his deserts must bear, and Diomed the best. He said, and all aloud, and sure the mare had been his own, had not Antilochus stood forth, and in his answer shown good reason for his interest. Which would to heaven I might not tell. Menetius' son lies dead. Menetius' son. Answer shown good reason for his interest. Achilles, he replied, I should be angry with you much to see this ratified. I should be angry with you much to see this ratified. Ought you to take from me my right because his horse had wrong, himself being good? He should have used, as good men do, his tongue in prayer to their powers that bless good, not trusting to his own, not to have been in this good last. His chariot overthrew not me. Who's last? Who's first? Men's goodness without these is not our question. If his good you pity yet, and please princely to grace it, your tents hold a goodly deal of gold. Brass, horse, sheep, women. Out of these your bounty may be bold to take a much more worthy prize than my poor merit seeks, and give it here before my face and all these, that the Greeks may glorify your liberal hands. This prize I will not yield. Who bears this, whatsoever man, he bears a tried field. His hand and mine must change some blows. His hand and mine must change some blows. He bears a tried field. His hand and mine must change some blows. Achilles laughed and said, If thy will be. And said, If thy will be, Antilochus, I'll see Eumelus paid out of my tents. I'll give him the arms which late I conquered in Asteropaeus, forged of brass and waved about with tin. 'Twill be a worthy. I'll give him the arms which late I conquered in Asteropaeus, forged of brass and waved about with tin. 'Twill be a present worthy of him. And waved about with tin. 'Twill be a present worthy him. This said, Automedon he sent for them. He went and brought, and to Admetus' son Achilles gave them. He, well pleased, received them. Then arose wronged Menelaus, much incensed with young Antilochus. He bent to speak. A herald took his scepter and gave charge of silence to the other Greeks. Then did the king enlarge the spleen he prisoned, uttering this. Whom grief gives most cause of reply, I now have hope. Enlarge the spleen he prisoned, uttering this. Antilochus, till now we grant thee wise, but in this act what wisdom utterest thou? Thou hast disgraced my virtue, wronged my horse, preferring thine much their inferiors. But go to, princes, nor his nor mine judge of with favor him nor me, lest any Grecian use this scandal. Menelaus won with Nestor's son's abuse the prize in question, his horse worst, himself yet won the best by power and greatness. Yet, because I would not thus contest to make parts talking, I'll be judge, and I suppose none here will blame my judgment. I'll do right. Antilochus, come near, come, noble gentlemen. 'Tis your place. Swear by the earth-circling god, standing before your chariot and horse, that self-rod with which you scourge them in your hand, if both with will and wile you did not cross my chariot. He thus did reconcile grace with his disgrace, and with wit restored him to his. Oh, okay. My chariot. He thus did reconcile grace with his disgrace, and with wit restored him to his wit. Which would to heaven I might not tell. And with wit restored him to his wit. Now crave I patience. O king, whatever was unfit, ascribe to much more youth in me than you. You more in age and more in excellence. O king, whatever, now crave I patience. O king, whatever was unfit, O king, O king, whatever was unfit, ascribed to much more youth in me than you. You, more in age and more in excellence, know well the outrays that enrage all young. Know well the outrays that engage all young men's actions. Sharper wits, but duller wisdoms. Still from us flow than from you. For wisdoms still from us flow than from you. Sharper wits, but duller wisdoms still from us flow than from you. For which curb with your wisdom will. From you, for which curb with your wisdom will. The prize I thought mine, I yield yours. And if you please, a prize of greater value to my tent I'll send for, and suffice your will at full and instantly. For in this point in time, I rather wish to be enjoined your favor's top to climb, than to be falling all my time from height of such a grace. Than to be falling all my time from height of such a grace, O Jove-loved king, and of the gods, from such a grace, O Jove-loved king, and of the gods receive a curse, in place. This said, he fetched his prize to him, and it rejoiced him. This said, he fetched his prize to him, and it rejoiced him so, that as corn ears shine with the dew, yet having time to grow, when fields set all their bristles up, in such a rough wert thou, O Menelaus, answering thus. Antilochus. Let's check him again. Now all give me ear, whom grief gives most. Answering thus. Antilochus. Answering thus. Antilochus, Antilochus, I now, though I were angry, yield to thee. Because I see thou hadst wit when I thought not. Thy youth hath got the mastery of thy spirit. And yet for all this, 'tis more safe not to abuse at all great men, than, venturing, trust to wit to take up what may fall. For no man in our host beside had easily calmed my spleen, stirred with like tempest. But thyself hast a sustainer been of much affliction in my cause, and so thy good father too, and so thy brother. At thy suit, therefore, I let all go. Give thee the game here, though mine own, let all go. Give thee the game here, though mine own. That all these may discern King Menelaus bears a mind at no part proud or stern.